check in.
Great. You want to start it?
Yeah, so I'm feeling very good actually. Yesterday was a rubbish day because my dad moved away to France, so I left work early. Had a bit of self-care to feel better. But today, obviously today's a new day, I'm feeling very good and I've had a really good day at work. Like I've been able to help a lot of vulnerable people and I went out my way a little bit and it felt good to get the acknowledgement back and the thanks. They were dead grateful. So yeah, I'm feeling very good. I'll pass it on to Katie.
Thank you. Yeah, I've just had 2 weeks off, so I've come back a little bit stressed, but very motivated because actually it's made a lot of things clear in my mind that need adjusting and sorting out within our Lero. Um, a little bit more structure, which normally I hate, but actually realize, when you're working with volunteers, we need this. So I'm feeling really motivated and also passionate and remembering why I do this stuff. I got a lovely message from someone that I worked with over a year ago yesterday that I haven't heard from. Telling me, that they're still sober, they're still in recovery, they're doing great things, and thanking me for being a pivotal part of that. And however frustrated I get sometimes, it's those things that are like, yeah, you know what, I know why I do this. So also feeling grateful. Thank you. Oh, and I'll pass to Kai.
I'm checking good. I'm glad to be back. I missed the last three, I want to say. I was ill on one and then had other shit to be doing on the other ones. But I'm glad I've got the sort of time back. I think I'm checking in good. I think I'm very stressed because everyone around me is very stressed. Because we've got the Gateshead recovery walk tomorrow. So it's that. My fucking light's gone.
Okay, I'm coming to that tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it, but it's just when everyone's in that sort of very stressed mood, it rubs off on me a bit.
Yeah.
I'm
Can
looking
I
forward
ask,
to it.
are we able to bring community members to that? Because I'm coming with Andy, we're from obviously Stockton. We're coming on
Um,
that walk.
yeah, I think that's kind of like the purpose of it is
The
to
aim of it.
get as
Yeah,
many people
okay.
there in it.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry to interrupt you there,
That's all right.
Kai.
So yeah, overall, I'm checking good. I'm glad to be back into a bit of a routine, and I'll pass it over to Charlie.
I am feeling uplifted after my last call. I had a fantastic day yesterday. I had a unexpected 3 hour interview with a chap from Addictions Northeast that I wasn't expecting about my podcast. And then I had a fantastic Harvest Moon meditation last night. And then I had a well-being walk this morning. And then I had a lovely call just about an hour ago. So I'm feeling very uplifted actually. And I tag Jay. Is it Jill?
Yeah, hi. I've not been here for 2 weeks and actually really been looking forward to coming on today. Um, yeah, in a good place. Sunday's my 10 years in recovery.
Oh,
Um,
well done.
Never thought I'd make double figures, never thought I'd make a week, to be honest. So, yeah, in a good place. I think everyone's quite passionate today. And from what David said at the beginning, yeah, that's resonated for me as well, because we've been having conversations between a few of us South Asian people in recovery and the value of us by other organizations. And there is zero value to what we bring to the table. One, in terms of lived experience, and second, in terms of our backgrounds and cultures. And that's really rattled me quite a bit, actually. It reminds me a lot of me going for work when I was a bit younger, looking for jobs and never getting jobs because not because I wasn't qualified, but for other reasons. Maybe that's my own paranoia, but that's how I felt at the time, and I still feel like that now. Oh, come and do this conference for free. It'll it'll put you in better standing. Well, no, we're bringing something to the table, our lived experience and our recovery and our intelligence. And yeah, organizations, oh yeah, we can't pay you. We can't even pay you for your train fare. It's things like that. And there's been 3 or 4 organizations who have done that recently. And yeah, it's rattled me quite a bit actually. And yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm really in a good place to be honest. But it's just that it's brought back negative feelings, racial trauma, I guess. Um, yeah, but it'll be all right. I'm sure this 2 hours will be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. And I'll hand over to David.
Great stuff. Thank you, Jit. Okay, so first of all, when I stay silent, the silence, all of a sudden people then remember they've got to tag someone. So what I'm doing is I'm deliberately staying quiet so that there's a learning that sort of happens as well. Yeah. Okay. Now, just to give some context for why we are here, we're here for 10 weeks for 2 hours a week. So you can learn how to integrate the 5 tools of recovery coaching into your organization that you can do better within your roles, within your organization. And we call that track, for want of a better word, the systemic wellness practitioner. Yeah. So some of you would have done the 3 days intensive. Some of you are doing the 10 weeks before doing a 3-day intensive. Some people haven't even done the 3-day intensive. But this is what this 2 hours is about. Yeah. Okay. Secondly, yeah, I feel very passionate about bringing the professionalism. So professionalism means you get paid to show up in a certain way. And you're a professional, lived, experienced recovery coach. Now, what is lived experience? Okay, between me and you, it can be fucking anything. Yeah. But because there's a commonality around addiction, recovery, that is kind of what the lived experience is about. Yeah. So Jit has just mentioned racial paranoia. Yep. Maybe it's my racial paranoia because of the trauma that I've felt being a brown-skinned man growing up in the UK, and I feel abused sharing my lived experience at conferences and the wisdom I've got. It feels something off. Is that fair to say, Jit?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great. So my values, yep, as a white bloke, I really want to support you in that and say, fuck, it's bullshit. Yep, you need to be valued. How are we going to get you to support you to step out of that internalized depression where you keep yourself small? Okay, I struggle with it all the time. I've been trying to fucking raise my profile on LinkedIn, and I find that the most anxiety-provoking platform out there. But it's like I've got to play this game to get seen, to build credibility for the work that we do. And it fucking gets me. My head fucking eats at me around that. Yeah. And we've all got our own challenges that hold us back. Yeah. The meeting before this was about leadership. How can we use coaching as a leader to influence culture within our organizations? Yeah. So that's something else. But the rules are always the same. You create the container, you contract, you check in, and then you get the agenda from the container. So what would you guys like to talk about today? That's me asking an open-ended question. Okay, I struggle to lip read, especially Scottish.
Jude, would you like to talk about?
Well, when Charlie was going to say something, he just
Yeah, I was just going to say the same as Aya was going to say.
To support Jid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
I was
Okay.
thinking-
So the agenda is, how can we support JIT?
yeah,
Okay. So let's first, now I'm going to ask a closed question, which is a yes/no answer. JIT, would you like support from the container?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Because often we want to fucking go and help someone and they don't actually want the help in the first place. Yeah. So Jit talking about his brownness, yep, can trigger my white guiltness. Yep. And I want to go in there, oh, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you. Yeah, but actually it's like, no, fuck off, I don't need your help. So I'm just turning up the volume on that just for awareness. Okay, great. So Jit, all right. What would support look like?
Oh, one for me, it's not about telling me what to do.
Great.
I guess I'm a bit stubborn like that, but I know how I feel. So it's not telling me how I feel. It is more trying to understand why I feel like that and how organizations can actually do better to try and not going to savior mode, because I'm not asking anyone to save me. I'm just asking people to understand and value all those things that we've said that
Okay.
we can potentially bring to the table. So, um, yeah, it's better understanding, I think, and if you don't understand what it's like, ask questions about what it feels like to be in those certain situations, I think, so they get a better understanding. Does that make some sort of sense?
Okay, so I'm just going to go time out there and put in a teaching piece. Okay, so Jit has quite clearly said, I don't want any fucking advice. I just want to be fucking heard. Yeah. And I will always say the problem in life is not the person telling the story. The problem is the person listening to the story. So we're just going to listen to Jit. And one of the tools that we have is we don't frap. So frapping stands for fixing, rescuing, advising, and projecting. So we're not here to kind of fix Jit. There's nothing wrong with him. We're not here to advise him. We're not here to project our own story onto him, and he doesn't need rescuing. Okay? Cool. All right. So this is us learning about the role of recovery coaching. So we don't frap. We shut up and listen. Okay. All right, Jit. Tell us how you feel.
Really and honestly, it feels like I'm being patronized, meant over and over and over again, in that it comes down to the lowest common denominator is money, right? In 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 all businesses and organizations. So we're asked for advice after they've asked for funding for projects that they do, research projects, etc., etc. So we're an afterthought to everything. I say we, I mean my community, and it's like it gets me really angry and really pissed off, and I get into that fuck off mode where it's like, yeah, I'll just won't answer, I won't respond, I won't do anything in terms of trying to, and they're probably well meant from their angle, but it's not understanding me. And how can I explain it? It's, you know, if you value what my community are trying to say and be heard, then bring us to the table at the beginning. You know, co-develop, co-design, all of those things. Let's do it at the beginning together, not as an afterthought after you've got the money and then throw peanuts our way. And it happens more often than not. You know, it's happened a couple of times in the last month, and we've had enough. You know, but how many times can you keep saying we've had enough and it still go on and on and on and on, and it goes on and on and on. You know, I don't know if you guys have felt this. I don't know. I'm not very good at expressing myself in terms of my emotions. That's one thing I'm not good at. But
So, Jit, may I come in here?
of course.
And I want to up the volume a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm going to kind of speak what I heard.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm fucking sick and tired of fucking being asked to come to the table after you fuckers have gone and got the money. You didn't fucking include me in the fucking beginning. You didn't include me or my fucking organization. And it feels like you're fucking using me. And it feels like your behavior is fucking patronizing.
Exactly that. I didn't want to swear as much just yet, but yeah, exactly that.
Okay. Oh.
And it makes me feel undervalued and not appreciated, and nothing's changed.
You don't fucking value us, and you don't fucking appreciate us.
And nothing's changed in
and fuck all changes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly that. So fucked up. From yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly that.
So I just really want to appreciate you allowing me to up the volume there and to use language that was quite colorful. Yep. And yeah. So I really appreciate you putting yourself out here like this.
Yeah, for me is if we can't talk about it in this room, then we're never going to talk about it out. We're not going to do it in this container. We're never going to do it out in our organizations, etc., etc.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to ask a yes/no question. Yeah. Have you felt heard?
Right now, yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. So where would you like to go with this now?
I'd like to speak to the rest of the container, not speak to them, actually see if they've felt examples of this in some way. I think the ladies in the room may have that like this more so than men, but I could be totally wrong as well. That's an assumption I've just made. Yeah, I mean, what makes them feel exactly like the way you translated what I said?
All right. So let me rephrase the question. Yeah. And just let me see if this is right. So to the ladies in the room, as women, have you ever felt fucking unseen, invited to the party late, being excluded from the decision making, patronized, undervalued, and sidelined? Is that a fair enough question, Jit? Okay. Are you okay to answer this question, ladies?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Actually, as a lady, a woman, not so much, to be fair, not so much. However, as someone with sometimes quite a limiting mental health condition, absolutely. You know, barriers are put in the way. I am often an afterthought. There's never a consideration about any reasonable adjustments that might be needed. Yet I'm expected to show up time and time and time again for what I do. And this has been a lifelong thing. I mean, it's not comparable to the race issue, but to be made to feel less than, an afterthought, and unseen is very demoralizing, and really frustrating, and soul destroying sometimes. It's only now that I like to say I'm starting to feel like a real person. I'm a real person in the world, whereas for a long, long time, I just felt like a bystander who was dismissed because of things beyond my control. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can put it. And sorry about the dog in the background.
So when we make jokes, yeah, it's a diversion from the fear and the pain that's feeling. So Katie, may I approach you?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you. So as a woman, I haven't felt this, but as somebody with fucking mental health differences, I've fucking felt it exactly. Yeah. And for some reason, I don't think it's as bad as the race thing, but I'll tell you something, the feelings are exactly the fucking same. I feel like I'm a fucking afterthought. My whole life I felt excluded. I'm only now starting to feel normal and a part of. And it's fucking lonely, and ultimately it's fucking sad. Really hurting inside.
It is. And actually, just you saying that really brought that emotion up for me. It is fucking sad. And it's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can acknowledge that. It is.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like us to know, Katie?
No, I don't think so. I do feel in this surrounding that it's really nice to be able to verbalize that stuff.
Okay. So you feel heard?
Yeah, I absolutely feel heard. And I can see that you're all engaged and you're all, yeah, okay, I can see where you're coming from. Even if you don't understand exactly, we all have our own different experiences, and that's so powerful.
So I've got a lot of sadness in my chest. Yeah, I feel like I could cry. So I've picked this up. Yeah, this is how I'm being impacted. Yeah. That was a big breath, Charlie. Alia, would you like to come in? Again, it's a yes/no question. So we're moving slowly down a very charged topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So from my experience, I remember at my old job at Rosebery Park, obviously it was quite busy and we had a lot of patients and things to deal with. But I always remember like when I wanted to go and pray, the staff were dead rude. I wasn't heard. They didn't, and this was to do obviously with race and religion. They were just like disregarded me, so I wasn't allowed to go and pray until I went and spoke to they said you have to only do it on your lunch. So then, which I understand sometimes, obviously it's busy and you need to put the patients first and things like that. But they could have put other measures in place. Someone could have covered my part, or do you know what, my duty, sorry. But they weren't. They were just so like disrespectful and didn't understand. So yeah, I felt like that, like not heard.
When you're not heard, what do you do with that anger and frustration?
I normally let it build up and build up and build up until then I just explode rather than then I'll explode. And then I used to put a week sick in or something because I was that stressed and I couldn't be asked. I used to just think, well, fuck yous. That's what I used to think. Where I've learned now I should have spoke to like the nurse in charge or something, but then I felt I didn't have the balls to even do that. So I used to just listen. I was like a little lapdog. At the time, I was only obviously young as well. I was like 19 till 21. So I just, yeah. But yeah.
So may I up the language?
Yeah.
Yeah. And may I use swear words?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you fuckers wouldn't even let me go and pray and follow my religion, yeah, in the organization, and I had to keep quiet about my faith and feel ashamed about it and guilty about it and was judged by you all when you could have actually done something. But no, I had to hide it, I had to suppress it, I had to keep quiet, and I felt like a lapdog. It's fucking disgusting. And I'd get so angry, I'd get sick, and I'd have to take a fucking week off of work.
Yeah.
So Kai and Charlie, I just want to honor you both for the way that you're just sitting here and witnessing and listening.
Do you want us to come in?
No. No, our job is to stay out at this moment. Yeah. It's just to and I'm walking a bit of a tightrope. Yeah, because I'm thinking, oh, Muslim female, oh, you must haram and mustn't swear and all this sort of stuff. And then Katie with a mental illness, it's like, oh, fuck, am I going to say the right words? And neurodivergent. And then Jit, like, oh, fuck, we got this race. Like, I'm trying to juggle all that shit. Yeah.
Be yourself, David.
Yeah, well, and that's the hard thing. Because whenever I am myself, I get ostracized. Because when I become a truth teller for the voice that's in the room, I get judged as being mental, fucking unboundarized, chaotic. I get judged and shamed. Oh, and that's going to make me cry even more.
I think we all need some tissues.
Yeah, because it's about me feeling excluded, and it takes me back to my school days where I was the kid with like special needs that was either kept at the back of the class or fucking kicked out of class or fucking caned or whatever, but I just knew somehow I was different to others. Oh, that does, yeah, it does feel. And the good thing about this sadness that I'm feeling is it gives me a huge compassionate heart. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So let's take it back to Jit.
Yeah. Um, it's not about sharing the burden, but I'm glad, not glad. It's good for me to understand that I'm not, it's not abnormal to feel the way I feel. You know,
Right.
it's quite it's quite liberating to a certain extent to know to know that others share the same pain as I do,
I'm
but
free. I'm not
in
that.
their own circumstances, you know. And I don't mean that in a way which is like, oh, you know, thank fuck I'm not the only idiot in the room, sort of
Why don't you
thing.
mean it like that? That would be a great thing.
But yeah, you know, it's sometimes I guess that's imposter syndrome to a certain extent as well, potentially, you know, that I don't feel adequate enough, but it's not being adequate, it's my traumas that have actually made me feel like that. So it's a normal thing in life to feel those emotions when you feel those traumas. And yeah, it should be more acceptable. It's not, but in this container, it is acceptable because we've got understanding people here, more open-minded to society in general, I think. And you know, someone starting off their recovery probably feels the same as that as well. You know, society don't judge me, but you know, my group of people working with me do understand me and they're not judging me. So yeah, I'm flipping it that way a bit, but yeah, feel a bit better now. Not because I've shared my pain into others, but just because I can accept it for what they are. Those emotions are what they are. Um, and to be aggressive and angry over that, yeah, I can be, but you know, also accept their emotions.
So what would you like now, Jid? Now that you've kind of felt heard and you're here to learn about coaching, you're here to learn about systemic wellness, you've got a
Mm.
sense of relief that your burden has been heard and kind of acknowledged.
I'd like
What's
to hear Kai and Charlie's thoughts
great,
on this, if possible, if
great.
they're open to saying something.
Yeah, okay. All right. Kai, Charlie, would you like to add anything?
Yeah. I don't know if Kai wants to go first.
I do want to add something, but you can go first. I don't mind.
Wow. Wow. For fucking hell. Let me just say, fucking hell. I
Jid's jumped off now.
I was breathing big breaths. I was taking big breaths there, I must admit. I don't want to say I was feeling his pain. It was because I was feeling something that I don't think I've ever experienced before, because I felt almost to blame for the way that Jet had been feeling, actually, because I had been part of that my whole life. I had been a product of that environment, and the more
Jid's just come back in, start again.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it kicked me out, or my
Don't
internet.
worry, Jid, it's fine.
I when you were speaking, Imogen, I almost felt that I was to blame for what you were saying, because I know I have been a product of that environment, and even a racist environment. So when you were speaking, I was like, had these butterflies in my stomach. You know, this I don't think I've experienced when someone had been speaking before, and I felt guilty. Personally, felt me guilty. That's how I felt. I must be honest. I felt guilty, because my thinking was like that for many, 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 many years. And I think this is what I've learned about these containers is like I've never, and I must apologise, I've never mixed with anybody of different colour skin or cultures or anything like that ever before. It's never came into my in my window. I've never really conversed with anybody who's different, and so I feel as if I'm not just learning; I'm relearning as well. And when you were speaking, I felt guilty. If I'm honest with you, I felt guilty, if I'm completely honest, and I couldn't imagine how that prejudice and discrimination feels, if I'm honest with you, because I've never felt prejudiced, and I don't ever felt as if I've been discriminated against. So in a way, when you were speaking, I was like, fucking hell, I feel so fortunate. And again, that was bringing up guilt because of what you were saying, and I was feeling fortunate because I've never been through what you've been through. Again, I'm feeling anxious, but I am 100% so glad I'm in this container to hear what you had to say, and it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard to hear, but I'm glad I've heard.
So can I just up the volume there a bit for you, Charlie? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so fucking hard to hear. I had so much fucking guilt inside me. I couldn't catch my breath, and I didn't realize how asleep I was to all this sort of stuff. I've had no fucking clue, and my eyes have just been opened, and I'm like fucking shocked, and I'm so relieved that I'm now realizing this, that I feel kind of guilty and stupid that I'm kind of enjoying this and being so grateful that my eyes have been opened, and I've come to this new fucking community and environment. I'm really fucking overwhelmed at the moment, and I've got a lot of fear and anxiety, and it's like, fuck, I know.
And I'm laughing with nerves.
Yeah. I'm so like, but I'm excited. Would you like to add anything to that, Charlie?
No, I'm fine. That's me. I'm good.
No, fuck off. Just get the focus off of me now. Okay, great. Thank you, Charlie. All right, Kai?
I think I resonate quite strongly with sort of what everyone was talking about in terms of like alienation because of a part of your identity. And it's I can't speak to sort of like racial or gendered alienation, but in terms of like mental health, so like I'm autistic, so I've sort of felt that sort of like I don't know that like a sort of you're a square peg being forced into a triangle hole type of feeling basically my entire life. And I think I resonated quite strongly with, you know, what people were saying of you turn that sort of anger at the way that the world isn't meant for you. And you turn that anger either towards yourself or to the world around you. And I think I tended to turn mine towards myself. And it's only very recently that I've, you know, kind of stopped seeing myself as an issue, if that makes sense, as a problem that should be solved, if that makes any sense. And this is probably the sort of first role that I've ever had that I've been not necessarily catered to, but just sort of had my input heard on things. Of, you know, of sort of the first ever time in my life I've been asked, you know, from other jobs I've had, from school, from everything. So from like even like relationships, you know, friends, family, that type of thing, of kind of like, what would you want from this? You know, what support do you feel like you need? And to be honest, I don't think I need that much support. But it's nice to have been asked that question rather than either ignored or like infantilized, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's my little two cents.
Can I give you some feedback, Kai?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to up the volume like I did with everyone else, but I really appreciated what you said. and I'm so pleased that I got to hear what you. My whole life, I've felt like a square, a square peg in a round hole, and I've been infantilized, and I'm fucking starting to realize that I'm not the one that's sick here. There's actually fuck all wrong with me. I'm actually doing all right. And it's such a relief to be in an organization where my voice gets heard and my voice matters. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Kai.
It's nice because it's like
It's fucking human.
Yeah, like I haven't asked for any real sort of, oh well, I need this and this and this and this. Like I've not asked for anything other than just like I might take myself off to another room if I'm a bit stressed and just work on my own in there. That's basically it. But it's just being actually included in something and not just sort of dictated to is very nice. It's weird as well, though.
It is weird.
Yeah. The only issue I sometimes have is sometimes I have a bit like, something will be going on and I'm completely fine, and then people are like, are you okay? And I have to sort of go like, I am fine. Like if I'm not, you'll know if I'm not. I'll just go like, I'm going. I'm just gonna go sit over there or something like that. But that's a nice sort of problem to have, if that makes sense. That people are being a bit too accommodating.
And that can sometimes be patronizing in a way.
Yeah, sometimes it does feel like that, I think. But I try to just sort of remind myself of like, they're trying the best type of thing, if that makes sense. It comes from a good place, so I won't, I'll choose to react as if that's, you know what I mean. Like I'll try to react in a positive way, of a thank you but no thank you type of thing.
Cool. Well, this is quite a robust container that we've built today. Hey, Jit, where would you like to take us now?
You can all have the afternoon off now. No, that is really good to hear everything today, really. I feel a lot more at peace right now than when I first came in, to be honest.
What have you learned?
From this container that we can actually all work together if we just appreciate people for who they are. So all organizations can do that if they really wanted to. It's just listening to everyone. And if they want help, yeah, great. If they don't want help, that's okay too. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to be who you are, I think, but being heard is an important thing, I believe, in organizations, of staff especially. Because I felt as though I've been heard here, really and honestly, truly and honestly, to be honest. It's been a while since I felt like that. So, yeah, very appreciative of that.
Right, so now might be a good time to get you to fill out the feedback survey of the quality of the train.
If you want me to, yes. I will do.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right.
David swears too much.
No, I tell you what some of my institutional challenges have been. Yeah, just before we take a break. But you go into an organization and the organization says, yeah, we need to find out what's going on. So you go into the organization, you listen to what's going on, you give people a voice, yeah, people start to speak up, and then next minute I get fired because I've given people a voice. It's like, oh, fuck, you don't want to bring David in. It's a fucking true story. I mean, yeah. And for me, that's been one of the burdens of this, particularly working in corporate space. And one of my challenges with English culture is, hi, how are you? No, I'm fine, thanks. It's like you never really fucking know where people are. And there's a political correctness that sometimes just feels so disingenuous. And you know, yeah. All right. Should we take a 10-minute break? I think I need to go to the sweet machine in this hotel and get some sugar and Coke to fucking Coca-Cola. Oh my God, I hope I didn't trigger you. I hope I didn't trigger anyone. I didn't mean it.
I'm triggered.
All right. So let's come back on the top of the hour. Yep. And great. See you all in a minute.
Yeah,
See you in a minute. Bye-bye.
See, Jet, it's water, mate. It's water.
That's all right. No coke. That's okay. It's funny whenever anyone says that, first thought is always that.
Yeah.
I always throw in the coal at the end of it. Just. Have you been okay, David? Been all right?
Yeah. I'm all right. I always have financial anxiety.
Yeah.
I struggle with the same thing of that you go through in terms of like being used,
Mm.
feeling used around my lived experience. And oh yeah, there's a struggle and a cause. And I have a 12-step background. I used to be part of the fellowship, and that whole principle of you only keep what you have by giving it away and all that sort of stuff lives in my head in a way that creates a money shadow for me around my self-worth. So I was all right when I was in IT and doing IT support work and all that. People are a lot happier to transact with me around that. But when it comes to helping people and changing people's lives and educating them forever, yeah, there's rebuke there. And then people from the fellowship didn't understand the work that I was doing, and then would project all that dysfunctional fellowship stuff onto me.
Stuff, yeah. I mean, there's a unbalance in what's important in the IT or humans, you know.
So yeah, so I relate to those challenges, and that's what I really appreciate what Dot and the team at Clero are trying to do in developing this fourth sector thing.
Yeah, it's important. Really
The
is.
challenge with that, though, is you're using the lens that they're doing it with. It's not coming from the organization. Yeah. So let's come up with a questionnaire to ask the Asian community that we're not being racist. Yeah. If we could just ask those black people the right questions, we'd get CQC tick box that we're not racist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, let's fucking bring the black people in and the Asian people in and say, okay, guys, what must we do here? Do we need fucking...
Yeah, I think something that triggered it quite badly this week, I saw something about health inequalities, yet there was no one from the black or brown community on the table talking about it. I was like, what the F are you lot doing? How are you going? And that was another thing. And I keep whinging at Sohan, but how much can you, like, how much can the guy take on, you know?
Well, there's two. The other side of it is if you do bring in black and brown people, it's often then seen as tokenism, and it's like, okay, we got some black people on the table. Yeah, okay, they've done that, and then but the voice doesn't get heard.
How do you win in that situation, you know? Or how do you get it right, not win?
Well, and this is essentially what we're doing now. We're having the conversation around it. We're actually fucking talking about a challenge here. Because ultimately, the feelings are always the same for every single fucking family. Loneliness, isolation, stigma, shame, you know. It's a systemic, mental health is a systemic problem. Right, what's the first thing we do?
Check in.
Okay, there you go. You build the container, Alia.
I feel good. I've got a lot of notes I need to write. I'm not going to have time today, so I'm going to have to go home and do it, which I'm a bit not stressed about, but I like to just switch off when I go home. So yeah, I'm going to do that. But yeah, other than that, I'm feeling good. I need to learn to manage my time better. That's what I need to do. And I'll pass it on to Kai.
I'm doing good. I think I've just discovered that I'm here till 6 instead of 4:30 now. So, and unfortunately, I have absolutely fuck all to do. So that's going to be fun. But I think other than that, I'm checking good. I think that's before the break was the first time I'd ever like actually spoke about that, if that makes sense. That was quite nice. But yeah, life's good, eh? And I'll pass it over to Katie.
Thank you, Kai. Yeah, I feel heard today. I feel heard. I also, but it has also brought up other things within me. Other things of it's not fair, blah blah blah. All the other issues. I'm sitting here thinking, well, there was that as well, and there was that as well. So it's brought up other things for me. But that's okay, because that means they're things that I can look at and deal with, or take action on, or talk about. I think it's always good to get out what's inside, to find this stuff. So yeah, positive.
And
I'll tag Jit.
It sounds like your dog's having got some strong feelings as well there.
Very much. So yes, I am feeling a little stressed because there's some dogs in the garden next door that is frustrating my dog. So I'm trying to manage that.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I feel good. Being heard and being able to do it in this safe space. I feel a lot safer here saying what I said today than anywhere else for a while, and that even includes those mutual aid meetings that I go to sometimes and judge straight away where they're not should be doing that anyway. But yeah, no, yeah, thank you. I'll tag in Charlie.
Thank you, Jude. I'm feeling absolutely beat up. I'm still feeling beat up from the last session. I'm feeling exhausted. My palms are sweaty. My stomach's going. My head's perspiring. My armpits are still perspiring, and I'm feeling pretty beat up, if I'm honest with you. But I'm all right. I feel safe. I feel safe in this container, and honestly, it was lovely to listen. It was nice to listen. It was a learning for me. But yeah, I'm feeling tired to it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll go with David.
Thank you, Charlie. So let's all just tap our foreheads. Let's tap your foreheads for a bit. Yeah. I know it sounds strange. Yeah. Keep going, Kai. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay. And let's just bring it back to the prefrontal cortex. Yeah. And just to allow our bodies to like kind of come down. Yeah. That was a heated, very robust, honest, authentic hour. Yeah. So let's spend the next hour unpacking that in a way that we can learn from it, so that we can create better organizations. Does that make sense? So there's no point fucking Charlie sitting there sweating, feeling uncomfortable, fucking being traumatized, yeah, by this, and then not learning why we did it and how we did it. Okay, and the reason for that is then what we're doing is we're creating resilience amongst ourselves, which is increasing our emotional intelligence. And the only way we can learn about emotional intelligence is to feel the fucking emotions. Like if I was to come up here and say, okay, here's a PowerPoint presentation on, how to make an Indian person feel welcome in a container. Point 1, chaka, 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 chaka. None of that stuff's going to work. Jit is feeling heard now because we were able to sit in the space for him to express his authentic self and to push him in turning up the volume of his voice so it really felt heard. Yeah. And then from that enabled Kai to fucking go, well, fuck, this is how I relate to it. This is how I've been labeled all my life. This is what's going on. And so as a container, we've expanded that muscle. Do my esteemed colleagues agree with me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as coaches, we need to know when our clients or colleagues or the organization is triggered. Yeah? Because when we're triggered, we're learning fuck all. Yeah? So when a client is triggered, we have the SCARF model. Yep. Which is status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. Yeah. So Charlie, let's go through that quickly. How was your status under threat? Okay, you just realized, oh my God, I've been an unconscious fucking beneficiary of the system. Yeah. How was your certainty impacted? Oh, fuck. I don't know where this is going to go now. I don't know how to act, what to speak, fucking da-da-da-da-da-da. Autonomy, I've been told to shut up and listen. I can't justify it. I can't do any of that sort of stuff. Relatedness, I don't relate to any of this stuff. Fuck, I know. It's just been opened up. Oh my God, this is so unfair that this has happened. Yeah. So sitting here witnessing that triggered you completely. So your amygdala is fucking going fight or flight, fight, flight, freeze, fight, freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's gone on for you. Okay. How are you feeling now? Now that we've just gone through the SCARF model.
I feel as if I'm just starting to come down actually. With the tapping of the head and what you just said there, I can feel it. I can feel just coming down. It's like a.
Oh. Okay. Right. So you're coming back into your body.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I have some mind sight, if I'm able to look at me, I can feel my body's activated too. I'm speaking at quite a high-pitched voice. I'm kind of foaming at the mouth. I'm feeling excited. Yeah. So I also need to kind of I'm just very, very passionate about this work. And I feel so misunderstood in the world at times. Yeah. It's like, fuck, do people not see what's going on? Fuck. Okay. What else did we learn in the past hour?
That we don't need to fix people. We just need to listen and hear them.
And at what times did you want to jump in when you were listening?
So many times. So many times.
Right.
You know, I am one of those people that have to really train myself to shut up. because I'll be
Great.
like, yes, I get that, or yes, or why don't you try this? You know, no, stop.
So you felt your frapper coming up.
Mm.
Wonderful. Okay, so that is hard work as well. Just keeping quiet is hard work. The fact that you notice you want to jump in is brilliant. Wonderful learning. What else?
Sorry, everyone, I had to leave there. I just had to check a few things with Poppy. I've missed
That's all right.
what are we discussing now? Sorry.
We're just trying to bring it down. Yeah. The last hour was quite intense. We went through the SCARF model to bring to when we recognize when we've been triggered or the container's triggered, and the SCARF model is status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. Don't worry, you'll remember it. It's in the manual. And
Yeah.
yeah, but Charlie, we used Charlie's example. He suddenly realized, oh my God, I'm a white fucking racist. Yeah. It was really fucking unaware of this stuff. Oh my God, am I going to get lynched now that I've become aware of this? I've been told to shut up. I have no autonomy. I don't relate to this. I never knew it was happened. Oh my God, it's really unfair how people have been treated. Yeah?
Okay. Thank you.
And he was triggered. So we're just trying to like bring him back, yep, and the classroom back, so we can learn about coaching and recovery coaching and building resilience and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And then I started to talk about mindsight, where you had the ability to see how you're responding as an individual, how your client's responding, and how the relationship is responding, as opposed to reacting. Yeah. So then I asked Katie, where did she want to jump in? All the time. I had to really hold myself. And then I've got the fucking dogs going off in the back. Yeah. And what's great about that is Katie noticed how she really had to keep her mouth shut. Yeah. Okay. So what are we learning here? What else are we learning? Jit, did you want to come in there?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things was to keep my mouth shut when, similar to what Katie was saying, you know, I do have a bad habit of giving advice I really shouldn't, and sitting and listening and understanding, because the first hour has actually shown that if you sit and listen, that person feels better who's sharing. They feel heard, which is what I felt. And I think in practice, I felt that. So in reality, I can then use that going forward, I think, because I don't do that very well.
In the last meeting I was on, I spoke about white fragility. And white fragility is when white people find it hard to listen and hear the anger from Black people. Yep. And then the other side of it is when Black people don't speak their anger because they don't want to upset the fragileness of the white people. So where in your lives do you guys keep quiet because you don't want to upset someone else? And I'm not just talking race, I'm just talking in general.
Sometimes I keep quiet if someone that I am friends with and maybe have some admiration for has a significantly different view of things that I may find questionable, and I find it difficult to voice that when it's someone that I care about or like. I don't have an issue if it's someone that doesn't really matter to me. But when there's a person, I find that difficult. I find that people pleasing thing come in me. If I say what I think, then you're not going to like me anymore.
Yep.
I find that.
Great.
Do it with family quite a lot, actually. Elders. Yeah, it's yeah, there's so much cultural stuff that we do for the sake of doing it because our parents have said to do it. And I keep my mouth shut, but sometimes I just want to explode and say, what the fuck are we doing that for? Why are we walking around with a turnip on it? No, we don't actually on our heads or whatever. But do you know what I mean? There's things that we do, and you think, come on, man. Maybe in India you would have done that, but here you don't need to because you can financially afford to buy a proper bowl or I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Something, things like that. I keep my mouth shut, but more so out of respect, I think. But if I do challenge it, maybe I should challenge it.
Tell us more about that, Jit.
Yeah, just I mean, when people get married, for example, they give presents of value, real. Sometimes they give a couple of grand worth of money. They give money. And I'm thinking that guy earns 5 times more than me as it is. He doesn't need the money. Give him something which is more sentimental. But it's the practice of money and reward and that sort of thing. And that's frustrating. And one of the other things is when once a year the sister comes around to tie these things on your hand because it shows love between the brother and sister. Yet I think back in the day they would give money as a thing of affection because they probably didn't want to feel emotions in those generations. Now we're like, oh, we'll give you a big hug. That's right, because it only costs you 20p to make. That's me being practical. But now my dad's like, no, you have to give them money. I'm like, Dad, come on, man. I don't earn enough to throw money around. And when I don't have actually immediate sisters, but I have about 25 sisters, first cousins, who all come around to do it. So imagine giving 20 quid to all of them. I'm broke by the end of the month. So it's those sort of cultural norms we're trying to break. But I tend to keep my mouth shut. And I can't be the black sheep of the family forever, It's
Yeah, in South Africa they call that black tax.
is it really?
There's an actual term like fucking. Geez, I'm black and I've got customs that I got to fucking shell out for this and this and this and this. And these poor people are working in like kind of white, westernized cultural offices, and the office doesn't fucking understand
Yeah.
additional kind of fucking pressures that, hey, you don't understand, it's black tax. And so that's
Imagine saying, I got 25 sisters. Really? But it is that, our first cousins are our brothers and sisters, and that's how we done it, and that's how we've always done it. And it's a nice thing as well, but when it comes to finance, it's not.
and what is your religion?
I'm
What
Hindu. I'm Hindu.
Hindu? Okay.
It was there was something else I wanted to say, and it's something I overheard, and I was a bit shocked, but not shocked. In terms of recovery, that in Africa they go see witch doctors and stuff like that to help, and I was shocked at the time, and then I think back to like 15 years ago. My mom took me to see the priest, hoping that he'd save me. Well, obviously he didn't because it took another 5 years. But I was quite shocked to hear that, but it does happen as well, doesn't it? And I should have questioned that at the time, maybe.
So in South Africa, the witch doctor, I would say, is a derogatory term.
Mm.
The actual traditional healer, yep, or sangoma, yep, and a sangoma is someone who they get it's called twasering. You get a calling. Something in your spirit calls you to become a healer.
Mm.
And you can see sangomas in the UK. Yeah, that in UK kind of culture that have been kind of, you know, sidelined, and they'll hang out at, like, I mean, Charlie's a bit of a sangoma, actually, if you think about it. He's a kind of a healer that's kind of woken up and fucking dancing at the moon, and fucking they're just calling it alternative medicine. But Charlie, you've obviously had some sort of calling that's made you become a healer within your community. I don't know whether you want to buy that, but
Yeah, sorry.
just to build on top of it, if someone's getting the calling, yeah, and they go to a Western hospital, yeah, the Western hospital will say, oh, well, you're fucking psychotic. You need 500 milligrams of Seroquel and you need to be put here. Yep. In traditional culture in South Africa, that person, they would say they're twasering, and they'd go off into the mountain with an elder sangoma who would help that person reintegrate the psychosis, yep, into becoming a healer.
I love that. Sorry, I have to say, I absolutely love that image.
Yeah, well, and this is where the cultural difference is.
Mm.
Yeah. But also there's also the downside of things like that for people that to say homosexual, you know, we're going to pray away the gay and all this, like, so it's we're going to get Jit, we're going to send him off to the Hindu priest, and but Shiva or somebody is going to come and fucking take out the demon that's causing him to. Alia, you also struggled with some mental health issues, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 2000, and I'd say it was really bad 2021 till 2024, the beginning of this year. Like really bad, in and out of inpatient hospitals, and I was with the primary mental health team. I had a CPN I used to see every 2 weeks, but thankfully I've been discharged now. I'm not on no medication or anything anymore.
Yeah, and I would say you've got traditional healing qualities. Like you're in a role now where you're just kind of helping people by just kind of loving and supporting. And I'm not talking like potions and that sort of stuff. That's the advanced training people. We'll get that. Mystic Meg will tell us later, won't you, Katie?
Yeah, a lot of people I work with say that like I feel like I attract broken people to help them heal, because when I share my story, it gives them hope that there is change and you can grow. Do you know what I mean? And you can heal.
Have I been offensive in any way to anyone?
No, not to me.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, no, Charlie, I was thinking about you, but with your like your alternative healings and that sort of thing. The
No, I'm quite interested to know that, actually, because before I came into recovery, I tried to find sobriety in church, and I became a born again Christian. and I joined quite a charismatic church actually, and they believe wholeheartedly in healing. If you had cancer or whatever ailment that you had, they wholeheartedly believe that God would take that, would heal you. 100% that God would heal you. And even more so, they would have like demon nights, or it wouldn't be called that, where they would heal the person of bringing the demon out of them. And that was an eye to be looking at, I can assure you. And I stood there aghast. But these, and I suppose I know the witch and doctors are derogatory term, but when you were talking about that, I thought of that actually. But I didn't take to it. I just could not take to it. It wasn't for me at all. It was it was something I wasn't ready for at the time. But who am I to say that man doesn't work? These people believed in it wholeheartedly. They believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit and the Trinity. I'm absolutely fine with that. But it just wasn't for me. And actually, I found healing more in the meditation. That's where I came across very early on the mysticism of the Hermetic principles and the 7 universal laws, and as above is below, is within is without. And I found all this stuff, and that's where my healing come from, as well as my recovery. And there's something about for me, walking along the beach with the sunrise, the healing qualities that gives me, from a well-being, just my physical point of view, how I'm going to be that day, the gratitude that I get. So, and I think if we cure the within, the well-being and the physical and the mental side of us, then it comes into balance. I don't know how it all works. I just believe in energy. I found frequency, energy, and vibration, and that's the 3 things that that I follow in my life. And I just feel like when you have good well-being and good mental health through the elements of nature, then that to me was my cure, as well as a fellowship, obviously. So that's where my healing comes from every single day, actually. And I think it's called gratitude as well.
So you sound like a very early Christian before the church was created.
Oh, do I?
I love this conversation. I love unpicking this sort of stuff, because if you look at societies and communities, you get these archetypes living in every single community. Yeah, and those archetypes have feelings. Yeah, and those feelings are the same for each human experience. And then you put all the other fucking shit on top, which kind of starts to separate us all. Oh. Kai, what are your thoughts on this?
I think like spiritual principles.
Whatever.
I think like spiritually, my beliefs would sort of be closest to like Buddhism, and in particular, there's one school, the Mahayana, where it takes kind of a lot of like the mystical aspects of Buddhism out, and more focuses on sort of the original sort of stuff that the Buddha said, of this very like materialist concept of being. And I think that's basically closest to my belief set. I think there's some stuff I don't agree with in it, but I think that's sort of generally the sort of principles I try to operate in.
So one of the things that I want to take the conversation towards ethics. And one of the challenges we have at our clinic, yeah. Just wait for Jit to come back. Welcome back, Jit. I just want to take the conversation towards ethics a bit. And because people that we're dealing with are very vulnerable, they might not know it, they might be giving it the big one and everything, but essentially they're very vulnerable and susceptible to our projections. Yeah, and people will come into our clinic and go into detox, and there's a lot of Christianity and very kind of evangelical Christians in particularly in the nursing profession in South Africa. And we had to put a stop on when the doctors and the nurses wanted to pray for the patients to try and save them. Yeah, it became it became a thing of like, guys, we can't be doing this sort of stuff when they're in such a kind of vulnerable space. Yeah, it's a bit offsides. Yeah, and to rather kind of get people to come to their own, bless you, come to their own realization of what their spiritual path is going to be for them. Yeah. And also you get with addiction, it's the one illness that everyone seems to have an opinion for. Everyone has an opinion about it. So people get taken off to the priest, the sangoma, the imam, the temple, whatever. They get taken to the granny, the auntie, the neighbors, the school principal. Everyone seems to have some sort of opinion, but nobody actually asks the individual, "Oi, mate, what do you fucking want? You want to take drugs? Fantastic. Go and take drugs. Just stop stealing money from your parents. Go and support your own habit. Stop taking them." Do you know what I mean? And I've found when I've approached people like that, all of a sudden they go, "Oh, okay, I actually want more out of my life." Oh. Okay, Charlie, how's your body feeling? Have you come down?
Oh, it's way down now. It's evaporated now. It's gone. I'm good. I'm back in the room. I'm not
Okay.
triggered.
Okay, welcome back, mate. Jit, how are you doing? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm quite steady now. Feel a lot better for the discussion within this container today. Yeah, good. I need to sort my Wi-Fi out. It just keeps dropping out today. I don't know what's wrong. But bar that, yeah, in a much better emotional feeling than I was when I first came into the room today.
Great. Alia?
Sorry, it wouldn't click there. It wouldn't come off the thing.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really good. Yeah, my head's a bit all over because I've got loads to do.
No, that's fine. I got it. Kai, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Enjoying.
All right. And Katie?
Yeah, I love the conversations about the various spiritual paths and all of that sort of thing. It's something I'm really about. I love exploring all of that stuff, so I really like it. Discovering new ways of doing things and being open to everything. Yeah, I love that.
Okay. So in the context of systemic wellness and the organizations we work for, we must just be careful of what we're projecting onto the vulnerable, possibly. Yeah. Well, whose bird's that?
Mine.
Katie.
Sorry, it's a bit of a zoo here today.
No. I never knew you were running a pet shop in the background as a side hustle. All right, guys, listen, I want to wrap this up, if that's okay for you all. I've got to go and coach now for another 4 hours or something this evening down here in Kent. And I know Alia's got paperwork that she wants to do, and she's yawning and sneezing. Charlie's got to go and have a meditation. Yeah. And poor Kai's got to find something to do for them till 6:30 or something. So maybe to go through the online material. Jit's Wi-Fi needs a break, and Katie needs to feed all the animals in the pet shop.
So, David, just asking about the material. I'm not going to lie, I think I've looked at it about once or twice because I've just been so busy, but I will get it done. When does it need to be done by?
When you've done it.
Oh, okay. Is there no deadline?
No, this is a very different learning environment.
Okay.
Yeah? You just need to get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna set a day. I'm gonna speak to Poppy and work from home one day and get it all done.
It's all right whenever. It's like for Katie. Katie wants to get certified, but we've had to adjust for Katie and Katie's environment. So instead of us trying to fucking take square pegs and put them in round holes, yeah, we take round pegs and put them in square holes.
Hey, babe, but you crack me up, you.
Yeah. So just go through the online material. You attend the classes here. This is where you get your classroom experience. There are 3 things we're doing. There's the theory, there's the practice, and then there's the process. Yep. What we did for the first hour was processing. We processed some very strong feelings to support JIT. Yeah. And the agenda came from JIT, and we processed that. The second hour, we put some theory, yeah, to the practice of coaching. And I hope that's been modeled today. Yep. We used the SCARF model to bring Charlie back down. Yep. And we spoke about different cultures and different ethnicities and different customs. And so think about your organization, think about your role in the organization, and I'm going to think about going to we as well. Okay, so let's check out. Yeah, are you good to check out?
Yeah.
I'll start. First of all, I really would just want to acknowledge you all and thank you for building such a robust container with me this afternoon. I really benefited a lot from this, and thank you so much for that. I'll tag Charlie.
I check out safe, I check out well, but the first session I don't know what I was, if I'm honest with you, because it's not a feeling that I've came across before. But as I said, I was glad I was in the conversation and in the container to hear what Jid said, because it's the first time I've really heard anyone speak that language. So I feel privileged, and I'm well. And I pick Kai.
Yeah, I think I'm checking out quite well. I might end up doing, do you know the 5 o'clock one that the other guy does? Is that on for an hour?
Yeah, the coaching practice. Wonderful. Yeah.
Because I'll give it something to fucking kill a bit of the time. The room surrounded by white walls. But yeah, I think other than that, I'm checking out quite good. I do enjoy these sessions, I think, and I'll pass it over to Jit.
Yeah, I'll check out in a much better place than when I came in. Sorry to throw the nuclear bomb in right at the beginning, but yeah, it's all good, man. Great conversations around that. And I'm glad everyone feels that they got something from my negative emotions when I first came in to now. I'll pass it to Katie.
Bridget, I'm just going to jump in there. This is a place to bring nuclear bombs. Yeah. So thank you for doing that. And 2, fuck them. This is the only way we're going to learn. And these conversations need to be had. And I promise you, Charlie is going to fucking benefit from this beyond your wildest dreams. So don't hold back your gifts, Jet. Yeah.
Thank you.
We created a very safe, robust container. Okay. Thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm checking out, feeling really positive. I want to thank you all for your honesty and making me feel safe enough to also be honest. You know, I really do feel this is a place where we can say things and it's okay. You know, and I just think that's absolutely priceless. So yes, thank you. And I will tag you, David.
Alia, did you go?
No,
Oh, sorry, Alia, go on.
no, it's all right. I'm checking out, feeling very grateful to be able to have such a good and laid back coach, David. I think you're absolutely class. I love your aura and your personality. And also everyone on this group, as you're just so supportive, and we're all very understanding, good listeners. And honestly, I'm so grateful for you. So thank you. That's me.
Oh. Yep, again, I check out with lots of pride. Thank you all so much. I've learned so much. Lots of love.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Charlie,
Yep.
you mentioned a podcast. Are you actually doing a podcast? Do you have a podcast?
Yes, I run a podcast called Unfiltered Lives, The Other Side. We're only brand new and we tell people's story in recovery. The whole point of the podcast is to show people there's a way out, that there's a solution.
Brilliant. What is it? Unfiltered Lives, The Other Side.
The Other Side.
Great.
You can't miss my big Scottish accent. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I just heard you say it and I thought, okay, it might be something I need to listen to. Thank you.
Do you want to post the link in the chat, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll do that.
Perfect.
So do it now. Oh.
Yeah, do it now, or the WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
can you do it on the WhatsApp group? Is that okay?
I'll do the WhatsApp group, guys. Have a lovely day.
Perfect.
Thank you. See you next
Thank
time.
you,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.